All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and pass over the mic to our incredible Director of EdTech, Matthew Ketchum.
Well, thank you, Angela. That was a very nice, warm welcome. I wanted to share with you all that we're going to be hearing in a moment from another incredible educator in our district, Greg Havens, 6th grade teacher at Martone, and he's going to be sharing about PBIS rewards. And this has been a district-approved app for the last couple years, but we're definitely doing a lot more initiatives district-wide, TK through 12th grade, all schools, elementary, junior high, and high schools with using PBIS rewards. I do want to share that we have lots of training opportunities on this district approved app. In the MCS PD catalog for the PD initiative, we have live trainings and self-paced trainings on PBIS rewards, getting started, advanced features, school site lead admin, and even the practice of PBIS itself and that theory. Also, we have our MCS Tech Help Center websites, and you can get to these websites from the district webpage, your school webpage. All you have to do is click on teachers at the top, staff at the top, parents or students at the top, and each of those menus will have the Tech Help Center. And again, that's from the very top of the district website or your school websites. And that's where you can find different web pages, including a PBS page on how to use this tool, and our YouTube playlists, which are also on those Tech Help Center websites. But PBIS, it's a wonderful application for building that positive student behavior, SEL, and just recognizing students for meeting behaviors and expectations in the classroom. And I would like to introduce you to Greg Havens, our 6th grade teacher at Martone Elementary School, who will be sharing how he uses PBIS rewards and how Martone School is using this application. Thank you, Greg.
So to start off with, how I came into, by the way, hi everybody, my name is Greg Havens and I teach the 6th grade GATE class here at Martone. And the way I kind of became involved in PBIS is my PBIS has been kind of a fluttering, sputtering program for a couple of years. We've been trying to get it off the ground, and there's a lot of moving parts to it. And it seems like it never really got started. And we have a committee that meets about every couple of months to talk about what they need for PBIS at our site here. And my 6th grade colleague said, "We'll get Mr. Havens' class. They can run the store." So reluctantly, I kind of looked at it and looked into it and realized that PBIS is more than just a reward system, so to speak. It has the power and potential to really kind of change our student experience here at Martone. So last year, our goal was to get PBIS onto, just get the store working and have kids receiving points and give out prizes. And this year it's taken on a whole new life of itself. So last year what we did is we, as a leadership team, we met and we decided that we wanted to spend the first 3 collaboration days, the first 3 weeks, really getting PBIS up off the ground school-wide. And so what we decided as a leadership team is that we would get each student a lanyard, and all of our teachers and staff and yard duty and everybody here who has a phone or access to PBIS trained in how to give points, and to really kind of set the tone as far as when a student walks onto campus, what the possibilities are for them to be doing the right thing and put on that I'm here to learn mindset, but also feel really good about their experience here as a Martone Mustang. So what we decided to do is we started off with deciding to get each of our students a lanyard. And I don't know if you can see the lanyard here. It has student's face and a QR code. So basically, if I wanted to give my student here a point, I could just call up the PBIS app right away. And we've been working on behaviors here in the hallways. We have a theme every week, and we're looking for just being respectful in the hallways, staying on the right side, keeping your hands and feet to yourself, things like that. And staff has been out in the hallways every day rewarding points, and it's easy as opening up the app here. You can see the app. Keeps, I'll take off my background. Opening up the app, rewarding a point, taking a point, and then scanning the student's QR code here. And I just gave that student a point for being respectful in the hallways. And once students receive points, and they build them up throughout the day, they're able to apply it towards our store. So now I'm one of the administrators here at Martone, so I have all of these different, I see reports and all these different things just to kind of keep it up and running. But if we go to the store, this is I have my own store for my classroom that students can use their points. And we also have the Mustang Market, which is our school store. And each grade we have grade specific prizes, and we're just getting this up and running now. But there's things like a 20-minute Minecraft vacation to sixth graders. So if there's some sixth graders that are friends that have enough points, they can use their points, 300 points rather, to take a 20-minute vacation outside of the classroom and play Minecraft with a friend. We have push one, pull one, where you can push a student during a push one, pull one time. You can push a student out of the class and bring a friend from another class in to visit for 20 or 30 minutes. Or send a song. I have a guitar over there, and if a student can buy a song, and on my prep, I'll go in and sit down. They can buy a song for a friend and request what song it is, and I'll go in the middle of their class and sing them a song. We also have kind of starter gifts and prizes that we have. We haven't opened up our store yet. We're just getting started as a school-wide initiative. But students bought these last year. They go in the store and they look at what they want to buy, and we go ahead as my class. They'll get an order sheet. They'll go into the store cabinets. They'll put a student's name on the order. Write a little message to them, and then kind of fill their order, and then walk it over to that classroom and deliver it. So it's a store. Kids are really excited about it. But that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg as far as PBIS. And I think there's been a few programs. I've been around this district for a while, and I was involved in Schoology when it first got started. And I was really big on Schoology. And I think PBIS is really going to be one of those programs that's going to kind of change the culture for our school. So the neat thing about PBIS is that we're getting total buy-in from all of our teachers. And 2 weeks ago, we had our first PBIS training where we got all of our teachers on board, and they got the application on their phone, and we practiced during the first PD. And then last week, what we did is we each grade level put together their grade level stores. You can see down here that if I go back to the store page, if I go to public stores, here's some stores that are public from different teachers, and if I go into their store, you can see all the different kind of things that they have to offer kids that students can use for their points, and those are redeemable either by the month or by the week, but there's a set time that students redeem their points. ACES has also got into the act where they're offering we're training their ACES people after school and before school to give out PBIS points, and they're also creating a store, but they're also taking it one step further. They're doing, and this is a school-wide initiative, so they're inviting all of our kids. They're setting up at least one Saturday field trip per trimester, and I think the first field trip they're planning is for Natural Bridges on a Saturday. I signed up to go as a chaperone, and we'll load some buses on Saturday and be able to take the kids who spend their PBIS points to go to Natural Bridges, and it has tide pools there, and we're thinking about going in October and November when the monarch butterflies are there. So it'd be a really kind of a neat thing. And then as a culminating activity, knowing that we're kind of a PBIS school, we dedicated the last Student of the Month Assembly Day, or the last day of the trimester, to have a Mustang celebration day where for 2 hours each, an hour and a half to 2 hours on that day, right after our Student of the Month assemblies where we celebrate our Student of the Month and we give out our honor roll certificates and things like that. Students will be able to wear their lanyards, and there's a lanyard for each student at the school, and you can see our lanyards back here. There's different colors, so each grade level has a different color. And students put on their lanyards, and they're able to, our school turns into kind of a carnival kind of atmosphere. So if you've ever visited Martone, we have a theater here. This is all the 6th grade classrooms, and we may show 3 different movies that are kind of appropriate and approved for our grade level. So students can actually come to the show, or students can use their PBIS points to do art out in the quad, say with 1st grade, or 2nd grade might have some sort of dancing or some sort of activity, where they may buy some treats over at the cafeteria. So the whole idea is to make PBIS kind of a central motivator, not just for behavior in the classroom, but also as just a way that kids can say, hey, this is my school and I'm earning some really cool things by doing the right thing. And that's just one part of PBIS. When Class Dojo first showed up, I was a big Class Dojo guy, and have used Class Dojo probably for 12 years. And when Class Dojo went away, I realized it's a big part of how I run my class. So I have, if you look around my classroom, they're set up in pods. I can show you here. And on each classroom is a name tag. And let me see, maybe I can stretch over here. On each desk is a name tag with a QR code, and I can give points for individual effort and doing the right thing with my phone. I can walk around and scan name tags and give points that way. I can also, if you look at my class, let me go to my home page. You can see here that I have my whole class right here. And these are all of my students. But I can also go back to the home page and I have each cooperative group, each village, I call them. And they name their own village and gave them a flag. And each group I can give points based on how well they're doing. So if I want to give this whole group a point, say they're on task and doing the right thing, I can select all students and reward them with 1 point. And those points just have a tendency to add up here. We just had a raffle and they just used a bunch of their points, but I give out about maybe 75 to 100 points per student per week. So we have that. And what I found with PBIS, it's easier for me to actually, it's kind of cumbersome giving group points. It's much easier for me to just write all the groups up on the board and just use my pen. And actually there's nothing more powerful than when I give group points in my classroom and I'm trying to keep things positive and looking for the behaviors I want. I'm usually saying, okay, I'm looking for villages who are ready to listen. And I'll pick up my pen, and as soon as I start walking over, they're like this, versus pulling out my phone and scanning all the groups for points. That takes too long. And then at the end of the day, I just take the top groups to 1, and I get like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5 points for each group based on their place. So when Class Dojo went away, there's a lot of applications there that I used. In Class Dojo, I'd give my points to, in Class Dojo, I'd give group points in Class Dojo. I would I'd use the randomizer in Class Dojo. I would do a lot of different things. And so I was really kind of concerned how this would transition over, and it's been fantastic. Because not only am I giving points to my kids, but when kids line up in a straight, quiet line on the playground, yard duty is able to go by with their lanyards or their names and just give them points right off the bat, or they could pull up a name. There's a couple yard duties who we gave classroom privileges to, that they can pull up the whole class and give all the whole class points for doing what they would want them to do. Are there any questions so far? Before, I'm just kind of winging it here. Any other thing you'd like me to touch upon? There's some advanced features I'm hoping the district will turn on here soon. What we're doing here at Martone is kind of just the tip of the iceberg. I did ask if there's questions. So let me pause here for a sec. Are there any questions so far?
Hey, Greg. So there was a question in our Q&A. I try to respond to it, but maybe you have a better answer to it. The question is there a way to create class competitions and award the whole class, or have a class redeem points as a class for a prize? So I know we're able to award for the entire class.
Mhm.
But the
So-
redeem points as a class is like,
You can't redeem points. Well, maybe there is. I haven't found it yet. It's still new to me. We're still figuring it out. There is a way. I do a lot of competition. It's how I run my class mostly. And you can see I have villages here, and I'm able to create groups and villages. If I go to groups here, I'm able to create groups this way by just clicking on groups here, and this is my new group. And once I say it here, once I have my group, I can just add students right here. But once I have all of my groups put together, let me go back to the groups page. You can see my groups here. There's group village 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I call them villages because each person in the village has a different job, and it just kind of works as a team. I have all these villages on the board, and I give them points by pen. But what I can do is give them their PBIS points at the end of the day. So I'll look at all the points they earn, and I'll just add those points to each group at the end of the day, and it takes me maybe less than 5 minutes. As far as giving points to the whole team, I can just select all students and give my points that way, just by selecting all the students. And there's a little bit of lag right now. Selected all the students, or maybe the students that aren't here, the student hasn't shown up, and then just reward them 1 point. Coincidentally, if you gave a point by mistake, I just found this out the other day, you have a couple of seconds to take it back. So there's that little red reverse arrow. So, oh, I didn't want to do that. You can reverse it. It doesn't stick around, but it is a feature. As far as the whole class redeeming points, I'm not sure. You could have a prize that students can buy into, and it'll produce a list of all the students that bought into that list. If I go here to my store, and I'm just populating my store now. Like, again, we haven't opened stores. Our school store is not going to open up until October till we see what the point totals are. And then my store is, I have 5 points for a bathroom pass because my kids, 6th graders, when they get bored, they just like to go to the bathroom to take a break. But I could be in the middle of something important. So they are welcome to use the bathroom anytime they need to. It'll just cost them 5 points. And then my kids really love popcorn, lunch, and a movie. I have a whole bunch of prizes I'm putting together. I have a list, but I haven't put them down yet. But I will. So.
yeah. A little bit of a clarification of that question is that the whole class is awarded points for school spirit on a certain day, creating a school-wide competition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, there is actually. The administrator can pull up a number of points. If I go to reports, and if I want to see which classes are winning with points, it allows me to sort through. One of the strength of PBIS is it is report rich. It allows you to have all kinds of reports based on grade level, based on classes, based on certain groups. You can pull in any different types of reports you can possibly imagine. If I go to, let's see, point reports, it allows me to choose all of these points awarded by staff, awarded by students, points awarded by group, so you can see which classes are the leading groups and things like that. Absolutely. If you can imagine it, you can probably get a report for it.
That's awesome. Another question we have is how would a substitute be able to use this in your classroom?
I'm glad you asked. So when a substitute comes into our classroom like this, they have a district checked out device, and our vice principal or whoever is running PBIS, they can go back to the main page, and this is an admin that would have to do this, or someone or a teacher, a lead teacher that's doing this, and you click on login authorization codes, And what I can do is I can have a scanning station. So they could put a scanning station on their device. So when they open up their computer, they would just go to PBIS staff, or just go to PBIS, just the web browser, and I can go ahead and generate a code. In 30 minutes. It's a scanning, and their machine becomes a web browsed scanning station, and it generates a code for them. It generates a code for them to be able to give points. I think I hit the wrong thing, but you get the idea. So like if I wanted to generate a code for the day, I can authorize a different staff member or a substitute. We can add them, and then they'd have that. They could even put it on their phone if they wanted to, and it would just be good for that day.
Yeah, the app is super easy to use. I've been playing with PBIS rewards myself, and I find that it's super intuitive. The platform is really easy to navigate, and all of the classes are rostered there, so you don't have to create these groups from zero. So super easy to just start using PBIS rewards. I do have another question. It says, I am a pre-K teacher. Can I participate?
Sure, absolutely. So we have pre-K, TK here at Martone, and our students are participating there. You can generate, once all of your students are in the system, and they all are. We took some time to try to get everybody's picture, so we went through the process. It took about a week and a half to sync all of the pictures from Power School, and then the pictures we didn't have, we just chased all those kids down and took their picture. So once you do that, you can print their IDs. So if I go to ID printing, and you can choose which ID you want to print. You can even choose, let me back up here. You can even choose a little QR code to put on their name tag. If students have name tags, if they have a badge, they have a lanyard they can wear in the classroom, and you can scan kids that way with their phone. The limitation is really the teacher's imagination of how they might use that. And I think it's a real incentive. I could see TK kids, pre-K kids getting a real kick out of putting on their lanyard and being ready in the circle time and being dismissed by getting a point to, so which center are you going to this time, and getting a point that way, and being a real kind of motivator for them. So those are some of the things I can think about. But these are all the different kind of badges you can have. You can also create this one page here that it's the badge layout, and it will, let's see if I go to groups. Let me go to my group here. These are all the teachers here at our school. If I go to my group, and I create this file to print, it's going to pull up this classroom set of QR codes for me. And I can just have this on a scanning sheet. It has their name and their QR code to use. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to say that I'm super impressed about how you've been using PBIS rewards and how it has really helped the school-wide, initiative to encourage and promote positive behavior and have that as the school-wide goal.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that PBIS rewards is able to do that. And we will have a lot of PBIS rewards PD opportunities. Armando will share with you in a minute. And we'll share a lot of resources of ideas for incentives for your students, including some intangible ones like sit in the teacher's chair, or so some things like that are not even they're free. So it's going to be a fun experience for teachers to start using this as well.